Hello, welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a general collective reading. This is a reading that I wanted to pull for Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is happening today, the day I'm recording this, November 19th. The energy that I'm going to pull on here is specific to Pluto, but if you are attracted to this video, then there's probably a message for you here, regardless of when you listen to it. As always, please feel free to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I don't know about you guys. My first day of Pluto in Aquarius has been interesting. I feel like the energy is so dense you could cut it with a knife. It's been like pretty intense. I even woke up this morning and did some really big healing that kind of came at me out of nowhere, which was good. It felt really good, but it's kind of just a lot of stuff coming up. So if you are having some things coming up as well in this energy, you are not alone. Yeah, let's get to it. God, what do you want folks in this collective to know about their Pluto transit into Aquarius here? Nice. The Eight of Wands is just feeling to me like forward movement. I'm super drawn to the clarity. Like the clarity. What was I just looking at? I was just looking at something that this is reminding me of, but just the clear open sky that these wands are moving towards feels like moving into that clarity and freedom. That's really nice. And the Ten of Pentacles. This could resonate as a message coming, or even like a targeted energy. Like if someone is in like a really focused state right now, moving towards the Ten of Pentacles for me is sort of like the culmination of all of the lessons of the minor arcana of the tarot. So having mastered your thoughts, your passion, your willpower, having mastered your emotions, and having mastered like the physical manifestation of the life that you're wanting to co-create with the universe. So that's really beautiful. So either a movement towards that or even a message kind of towards that. I'm really feeling like this, like you though. I'm imagining myself flying through the air with those wands. It's beautiful. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. I so often feel her as that energy of clarity. I love her. She's such a boss. I never really resonated with that card, but I'm just loving her vibe lately. For me, she's just crystal clear. She's no nonsense. She's logical. I feel her as very focused, like sort of the razor edge of this sword, right? And she almost looks to me today like she's focusing on the sword. So really, like, it's just the same energy as this Eight of Wands. I feel like the universe really wants to emphasize that sort of laser focus, that forward movement into clarity. It feels so good. I love that. I hope I'm in this collective because that feels nice after the dense day of energy that I had. The Page of Wands, I love him. He's such a sweet adventurer. And in the Witches, he's such a like sweet. Look at him. He's making like a goofy kind of face. Like he's got this little cat with him and he's like yelling to someone or waving, or he just is like very like a playful, whimsical, cute energy. But it's also powerful. It's that sense of a new beginning. So I often feel the Page of Wands as sort of like a minor arcana Fool card, where he's just sort of throwing caution to the wind. He's open to the adventure. He's very forward moving. He doesn't really have a lot of inhibitions. So sort of that energy of like stepping off the cliff, right? And letting the universe catch you. And I mean that metaphorically. So nobody's stepping off a cliff, right? This is a really nice energy. I'm loving the clarity and the forward movement here, especially being that movement towards the Ten of Pentacles. So this card, I love this baby with like the lighter in his face, or he's like a magician. He's like creating the light for the baby. The baby's so delighted. This couple's like happy. The dog is there. They've got their big house. Like I think the fire is such a funny element here. I don't know why. It just is amusing me right now. But I feel like that's resonating for me with the Page of Wands, because Wands is that fire suit, that sort of spark. It's like delight. Like that baby's just delighted by this fire and seeing that magic. And I feel like that's kind of the eyes that the Page of Wands sees the world through. He sees it through that lens, right? Of delight and excitement and adventure and new things and just being open and like going with the flow. It's such a cool energy. So if the 2.5 kids in the house with the white picket fence doesn't resonate for you, which is basically what's being portrayed in this card, the 10 of Pentacles would just be whatever for you is like your manifested dream come true on the earth, right? It doesn't have to be the family and the house and the kids. It's whatever resonates for you. It's beautiful. I love that. Speaking of passion energy, wow. I love that with the fire. That's really cool. I love how the Queen of Wands is literally holding the Ace of Wands. It's like the same staff. The Queen of Wands would be this kid's mom. So the mature feminine version of that fire energy, right? She is optimistic. She's creative. She kind of has that same forward or like outward moving flow energy. But I love how she's just sort of sitting here in contentment. She's not chasing after anything. And same thing with the Queen of Swords. So definitely some strong divine feminine energy here. The air sign of the swords and the fire sign of the wands also feels like very compatible and easy for me. Yeah, this is a very fiery reading. So we have 6 cards on the table and 4 of them are wands. This Ace of Wands is a new beginning. It's a brand new beginning. I always feel this is a sunrise in the card, right? We don't know if it's a sunrise or a sunset, but I feel that sunrise energy of like it's a fresh new day, it's a fresh new start, and you're sort of starting off with passion, with empowerment, with boldness, right? It's a very similar energy to this Page of Wands. I like this reading. The energy is like tight, and a lot of these cards are bouncing off of each other. It's like a tight energy. It's nice. It feels like the universe just sort of reinforcing and almost like piling layers of the same message, which is making that energy feel even like stronger and more robust for me. I really like this. Whew. It's one of those ones that's like giving me the feels in my heart. So yeah, the energy, like I said, of like focus, of swiftly moving towards something. I really just feel it as movement. So if you guys, again, like I always say this about the cards, right? It's feminines in the card. If that doesn't resonate for you, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But this is another one of those readings where we have a couple of queens. So I'm feeling called to point out that there is like a strong divine feminine energy here. And a divine feminine who I feel is finally having some forward movement, maybe after feeling stuck for a while, towards this dream come true, right? That you're trying to manifest. If you're a divine masculine listening to this reading, maybe you're moving towards your divine feminine, right? And that's why the queens are here with that 10 of Pentacles for you. But that feeling, like I said, of clarity, of openness, right? That adventure, that fresh start of like a new dawn, a new day. It's an awesome energy. Whoever this is, I'm surprised we don't have like a judgment or something. It kind of feels like that. It's just like, this is some of what I was feeling just in the energy this morning in my own personal healing. It feels like today, the transit of Pluto, it's one of those energies for me where there's like before today and today and forward, right? And it's like there's no going back to the way that the energy was before, because this is such a huge shift in the energy. But it's feeling awesome. It feels really awesome. It feels like someone moving forward into really cool, clear, big open energy after having been stuck for a while and really moving towards that goal. Whatever your manifested dreams come true is on the earth, that's represented by that 10 of Pentacles. Traditionally, that card is a card of family. It's a card of wealth. It's a card of inheritance, of like multi-generational wealth, kind of passing on. I'm not thinking of the right word right now, but I think you guys know what I mean. Like passing on the riches of your family, whether that's the emotional riches, the physical money riches. Abundance comes in many forms, right? Abundance is an abundance of joy. It's an abundance of food, right? It's an abundance of space in their house. Like, it doesn't have to be just money, but I just feel a lot of abundance. This is beautiful. All right, God, what advice do you have for these folks in this collective for their Pluto transit into Aquarius? Whoa, that was like a jabillion cards. We'll take the ones here. So this guy was the first one that flipped. The Page of Cups. This is interesting. We have like a lot of court cards in this reading. It's feeling to me like very, I'm going to leave those there so I don't get distracted. It's feeling very like people oriented to me. So I don't know if that will resonate for you. Maybe what I was just hearing is like, maybe you work at a job where you just interact with like a lot of people on a daily basis. Like, I don't know, being like a counselor or like being a college professor where you've just got classes of people moving like in and out of your classroom. You could be a corporate person who's like a speaker, right? And you're kind of like speaking to a large number of people, but it would be like in an interactive way. Because we have 2 queens, we have a page, we just got another page and a king. And I'm super drawn to the fact that this side was so wands heavy, right? 4 out of the 6 cards are wands, which is that fire energy. And then we have 2 cups cards, which are the emotional energy. So I'm feeling like if you're in this collective, I'm feeling a lack of that, like a lack of emotional connection. It's almost like you're pursuing this out of logic and not from like your heart. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I feel like the universe is advising you to bring a little bit of heart into it, bring those emotions into it. Abraham Hicks talks about that a lot. Like, you get to the emotional place of the manifestation first, and then the universe has no choice but to create that manifestation, to co-create that manifestation with you, because you're a vibrational match to it, right? All that the universe does is responds to your energy. So if you're in that vibe of feeling that abundance, feeling that gratitude, feeling the stability, the success, right, of already having the 10 of Pentacles life, already having this dream that you're working on manifesting, then the universe has no choice but to match you there in that energetic space. And it has to be real. It has to be from your heart. So you can't just say, oh, I feel abundant. You can't trick the universe if you don't actually feel abundant. Like, that's not going to work, right? It really has to come from your heart. Yeah, I'm feeling from the Page of Cups like the sweetest innocence. I just feel like this is a little kid. She has like this cup with this fish in it, but I'm getting the vibe of like a little kid who was in art class, and she's like handing it to you like it's the most precious thing in the world. Like, here, I made this for you. And it could be the most poorly constructed thing in the world, but it comes from her heart, right? It's like a genuine offering of love and of sweetness, and like just something for you to delight in. And I'm feeling that energy so strongly from this card of just this sweet little child handing this offering to you. Like, look what I made for you. And you just accepting that and feeling in your heart like the love that was put into that, right? The care that was put into that creation, regardless of what it looks like, right? Or how physically valuable it is on a real level. it's the heart that went into it that makes it valuable, right? It's the love that went into it, and the time and the care and the thought that makes it valuable. That's really beautiful. The King of Cups is giving me that tipping over energy. I just keep seeing his throne falling over like I get sometimes. So the King of Cups is sort of like tarot is very sexist. The kings are sort of at the pinnacle of the suits. So the King of Cups is considered like the most emotionally mature, the most emotionally evolved of the Cups cards. He's a very intuitive man. I don't know why I keep seeing that falling over. Well, give me a second with this card here. I'm almost feeling it as like a King of Cups reversed. I don't really read I don't really care if the cards come out reversed or whatever. The way I shuffle them, they just sort of flip over or whatever way they want to come out. But I'm feeling that as like, it's like washing away his stability and sort of knocking him off of his throne. So this is what I'm getting from this. If there's anywhere that your emotions are sort of like misaligned, so maybe, let me think of how to say this. Well, I was just talking an awful lot about abundance, right? And money. So let's use that as an example. That's resonating. So let's say that you are super into money. You love the stability that money brings you. You love like the fun things that you can buy, the vacations you can go on. So your energy, including your emotional energy, is sort of focused on money. That can be kind of a cold existence, right? Like, we need things in life besides just money. We need love. We need friendship. We need like fun things to do. You can have, billions of dollars and be the saddest, loneliest, most miserable person on the planet, right? You're missing a lot if you don't kind of have like that connection. So with this King of Cups energy, I'm feeling like this energy of Pluto going into Aquarius here is sort of eroding anything about your foundation of like where your emotional energy might be misaligned. So for example, if your emotional energy is all focused on pentacles, on just money, right? I feel like there could be an energy that comes in here that sort of helps you have like a wake up moment. You get kind of tipped out of your throne and you're sort of sputtering and coming up from the water. And then you just have this aha moment of like, oh my goodness, like, there's more to life than just money. And I feel like it's that simple. I'm not feeling like this is like a complicated or bad energy or anything like that. I feel like it actually kind of feels refreshing for him to be in the water, but it's a bit of a surprise. I think it kind of takes you by surprise to realize that your emotional energy has been directed somewhere that's like a little bit misaligned, and the universe is coming and kind of tipping you out of your chair to give you like a wake-up call in the ocean, basically. That's a cool energy. I like that because I feel like it redirects you in like a really positive way. So it's not that you wake up one day and you're devastated that you've wasted your life, making money or whatever. I feel like you would wake up and be like, dude, I want to start a charity, or like, I want to sponsor 10 kids to go to college or something, It's like you kind of wake up and you get that spark, like the baby and like the fire and the wands card. You kind of get this spark of like, whoa, I don't just want to stack up pentacles. I don't want to just stack up this wealth. This is a gift that I can use like to help people, right? And then that in turn gives you connection, right? Like the power of being able to change somebody's life. I love that. That's a really cool energy. So yeah, it's one of those examples of almost like a tower moment, but just the suddenness of it, right? It's a big change, a big wake up. But it's not scary at all. That energy feels really nice. I feel like it kind of lights you up and it connects you to like your life purpose, right? It connects you to people and helping others and sharing that emotional energy. It feels really beautiful. All right, next row we have the Justice, the Three of Swords, and the Chariot. It's interesting. So the Justice and the Three of Swords are very strongly saying to me that if there are places in your past, this could be specifically for relationships. It doesn't have to be. And it could be romantic relationships. It could be friendships, relationships like a boss, a coworker, family members, right? Any kind of relationship where you have felt betrayed. I'm kind of feeling that energy here of a little bit like clinging on to the betrayal. So sometimes my spiritual teachers talk about like, what is the secondary benefit? So I feel like that's a question for you to ask yourself here if you're in this collective and this is resonating. What is the secondary benefit that you're gaining from hanging on to this heartache, right? And it's probably not something that you're even doing consciously. So let me think of an example. So the example that's coming to me is like, let's say this was a romantic situation, right? And let's say you got dumped by somebody. And you're heartbroken about it, right? It was horrible. It was really sad. You didn't want the relationship to end. Let's say that you're hanging on to this energy and it's gaining you like a lot of attention from your friends, right? Maybe your friends are all calling you and saying, "Oh, how are you? How are you feeling? Let's go out. Let's do this. Let's do that." And that's your friends trying to comfort you, right? But it's kind of like by holding on to that heartbreak or sorrow, it's like gaining you extra attention, extra connection with your friends. Instead of that coming from kind of a more natural place of like, dude, I miss you. Let's go hang out, right? It's kind of like, oh, we feel sorry for you. Let's do something to make you feel better. I'm feeling called to say like, you're valuable and you're worthy. And if your friends are real friends, they will hang out with you. They don't need the excuse of this heartache, in order to be with you. But I feel like the Justice card is very much kind of like an outside energy of the universe coming in, and I don't know how to say this. It's almost feeling like the waves again on the King of Cups, where it's kind of like clashing into that energy. The Justice card and the Three of Swords are not flowing together. They feel very clashy to me. So I feel like she does not really entertain this energy. She feels so grounded to me and so clear and precise, and she kind of feels like businesslike, where she really wants to move on and deal with like the big stuff, right? She's a major arcana card. She's a very powerful energy. And this Three of Swords just feels just not that powerful compared to her. I used this word the other day. It feels like maudlin to me. It's sort of like drunkenly sobbing and being a little bit sad and over dramatic about things, right? The Justice card is just not like that. She's very much feeling to me like the Queen of Swords, even with both of them having like their swords upright like that. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if you're in this pattern here, the universe is going to bring up some sort of a situation that's going to cause you to sort of confront that pattern and face it within yourself. I think that's the best way to say it. And as always, like, you have free will. You can choose to ignore this invitation from the universe if you want to. But the energy in the cards, I'm feeling that the universe is bringing in an opportunity for you to examine this and move on from it. And that's what I feel from the Chariot, is there's such a huge moving on energy in this card. I love it. So this guy is driving these horses with willpower, with determination, with great focus. The Chariot is a huge card of focus and success. It's actually really reminding me of this Eight of Wands card where, like I said, it's that kind of focused forward movement into a place of like clarity. That would very much be the energy of the Chariot as well. So I love that. I feel like it feels like a clashing energy. So I don't feel like this will probably feel very comfortable for you when it comes up, but I also feel like it's very safe. So this isn't going to be something like, I don't know, like something that happens out in public that's like humiliating for you, or like this is like I feel like a quiet realization that you're going to have when you're maybe like watching a movie or hanging out by yourself, or like you're kind of on your end of a phone conversation with a friend or something like this. There's like a dignity to this that's a little bit unexpected for me. I think because the Justice card is bringing that in. And the universe kind of respecting your dignity, that like you've been in this pattern, right? I just am feeling a little bit of an energy of like manipulation, and I don't know, again, that might resonate for some of you and not for others, and that's fine. But yeah, there's like that secondary benefit there that I feel like you're just going to get real with yourself and be like, you know what? I've been heartbroken about this relationship for 6 months or whatever, right? It's just time to move on now. And I feel like it's that same energy again, where like there's being heartbroken over here and there's moving on over here. And it's like you cross this threshold where there's just no going back to it, right? It kind of loses the attraction. Once you've healed it, you don't need that energy anymore. This is beautiful. I feel like this is all of this whole reading feels like you being set free. I feel like if there's a theme here, it's like a bird escaping from a cage. This energy is setting you free. It's really beautiful. I should say that the opportunity for that is here, right? So as always, you have your free will. Well, that was a very big story. I think that's too many cards. Okay, maybe not. We have the 10 of Cups on the bottom. The Magician, the King of Pentacles. 10 Pentacles, 9 of Wands. Okay, I feel like I can summarize this. My intuition's like, no, this is the story that we want to tell. I don't care how many cards it is. Okay, so the Magician we pulled in, gosh, what day is today? It would have been the reading on Sunday. Where it very much feels to me like you coming back into your power. And I feel like that, like Pluto, right, is a planet of power. It's a planet of death and transformation, like big time, kind of heavy, impactful, slow moving energy, like massive transformation. So this transit for me feels very powerful. It's in Aquarius now until like 2043 or something, I think, right? Like that's it. It's not going back to Capricorn. It's you having that moment of you can only move forward and you're not going to look back anymore. You're claiming your power, you're doing your healing, you're having this fresh new start, you're determined, you're focused. Like that's all this Magician energy. The King of Pentacles is feeling, I had kind of felt this vibe from the King of Cups too, but I didn't say this. It feels like there's a masculine, and again, take this if it resonates. It's just the gender on the cards, right? But there's a divine masculine energy that's showing up on this side, whereas we're having more of this divine feminine energy on this side. So I feel this often as advice, and it also feels kind of to me like future and incoming. I am drawn to the fact that he's gazing lovingly at his pentacle here. So I feel like everything that I said about this energy and this guy kind of realigning his emotional energy away from the wealth and into a heart space, right? That is really resonating for me off of this guy. So it could be like if you're like looking for your soulmate, your divine masculine, or even if you're with your divine masculine at this time, he could be the one kind of going through this transformation. So take that as it resonates. The Four of Cups to me is just like singing that apathy, right? This guy, I don't know, he's like a little kid and he's sitting next to this mermaid, and instead of being like, dude, mermaid, like how cool is this? He's just sort of bored and looking at these cups. And I feel like that's this guy's vibe as well. So whoever is in this collective, I feel like this change, this transformation for you has been a long time coming, and you're almost kind of apathetic or bored about it in some ways, because I think it's just been a while. You could have been working through like a really heavy energy, and it's almost like you don't believe that you finally made it like over the hill, that it's all downhill from here, right? You've done the hardest part is behind you. It's like you almost can't believe that. So I'm feeling that as this Nine of Wands, where she kind of has this like defensiveness or these walls built up. So if you're in this collective, there's definitely an energy here of like, putting down your defenses, letting the universe, letting God like dissolve those walls with you, so that you can let all the good stuff in that's coming in, this brand new start, this brand new day. Yeah. Yeah. This is tough. This energy feels tough. I can feel that. If you're in this collective, this is something that you've been working through for a while. And it's like the wands, those arrows have like finally been released from the bow, right? And you're like finally moving, and I just keep feeling like, wow, you almost can't believe that it's real. And it's like, dude, it's real. And I want to tell you, like, keep up with them, like get moving, right? That sort of chariot energy. There's so much forward movement. It's not the time to have this apathy, this defensiveness, this standing around, right? This is the time where you're catapulting forward. And I almost feel like the force of being an object, being a stationary object, all of a sudden kind of like flung into motion, it might be a little jarring. It's like feeling that King of Cups tipping into the ocean. It might be a little jarring, but it's okay, because it's like a little jarring, and then you realize you're flying through the air with this Page of Wands level of delight and adventure, and like how ripe and awesome that feels, right? And you're just flying into your dreams. The High Priestess and the Hangman here feels extraordinarily powerful. I feel like this is a huge opportunity for someone. Both of these cards are very deeply spiritual. The High Priestess for me feels like this divine feminine energy over here. The Hangman. Yeah, both of these cards to me are just singing out about going within. That all of this transformation for you is going to happen within. So like, remember how I had said about this Justice and Three of Swords, where it's not going to happen in a public way or an embarrassing way. It's going to be you having like a quiet moment with God, basically, and going like, oh man, I really need to knock off this pattern, right? Kind of like a come to Jesus moment within yourself. It feels so profoundly inward, this journey, this new beginning, and this forward movement. It feels like going deeper into yourself. The High Priestess is like one of the epitomes of the divine feminine energy in the tarot deck. She is extremely wise. She's very like kind of introverted. Like her energy is very inward turning, right? And I feel the same thing with the Hangman, where it's that I often talk about that as the universe putting you into a timeout, but that's actually not what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling a similar energy as I did with the King of Cups, where I was saying that it's like the universe is redirecting your energy. Like there's somewhere that your focus or your attention or your love, just your energy, like your workforce energy, right? If it's at a job, it's like a little bit out of alignment. And it's not like a huge alignment adjustment. But I do feel that it could be life-changing if you want it to be, in a really positive way. But I feel that energy of you're not necessarily being put into a timeout, but you are really being called to go deep within and sort of realign your energy a bit so that it's aligned with your highest good. That's a cool energy. And then the 10 of Cups. It's funny, the way I was holding the deck, I just looked at it. I don't usually do that, but I feel like that's so fitting. It feels like that's the transformation that's happening, is transforming from the 10 of Pentacles. So really that more, I mean, I kind of just keep feeling it as materialistic, someone who's really focused on like financial wealth, which is fine. Financial wealth is great, right? But there's also more to life. It's like having a rainbow and only wanting the red part, and maybe the red part represents the money. And it's like, well, what about all the rest of the colors of the rainbow? Like, what about the happiness and the love and like the joy and the adventure and the spiritual side, right? The High Priestess and the Hangman are very much calling you to the spiritual side. I'm feeling called to say, if you are not deliberately on like a spiritual journey or on an ascension path, I feel like the energy of these cards is calling you to that. So if that take that as it resonates. But if you're not on a spiritual path, I'm feeling that. I feel like you're being called to do that. I feel like it's part of this forward movement. But the 10 of Cups is, like I said, kind of opening up and having all of the things, right? So it's not just about wealth. It's about having wealth and abundance in all areas, right? Love, health, interesting things to do, friends to hang out with, all of the good things. Yeah, this is a very powerful reading. If you're in this collective, there's like major forward movement for you and a lot of empowerment coming after a time of not much happening and being pretty stuck. This is beautiful. I love this. Thank you, Pluto. Thanks for this message, God. Let's see if we can get a couple of angel numbers and we'll call it good. Okay, that's funny. All right, we got 0330, lucky shirt, love, peace, hope, and optimism, transferring responsibility to others, progress, creativity. Pursue your goals and get what you want. It will provide wonderful benefits for you and the people you hold dear. Your ability to communicate is improving at this time, which will make it easier for you to interact with a broad spectrum of individuals. I love that. Love, peace, hope, and optimism is like the epitome of the 10 of Cups card. I feel like that's a confirmation that if you're in this collective, that's the energy that you're transforming into right now. Pursuing your goals, pursue your goals and get what you want. I feel that. It's sort of reprogramming yourself out of this apathy and defensiveness energy because you've been working on this for a really long time and you haven't seen any movement. And I feel like it's reprogramming your brain to realize, like, yes, you were in a quiet period and now it's time to move forward and that's okay. And kind of just being able to release the old energy of I guess, lack of momentum, right? There's tons of momentum and movement in this. I really feel that. It's interesting that it says it will make it easier for you to interact with a broad spectrum of individuals because I had channeled that. Remember earlier I was talking about how many people are in this reading, and I'm really feeling that you are a person who somehow that you like interact with a lot of people. It's cool. That's a cool energy. I don't know if there's any more here. I like lucky shirt. I wonder if that will resonate for anybody. I feel like that title is sort of delighting me. There we go. We have 333, support, growth, creativity, joy, community, vision, and talents. Seeing the angel number 333 is a sign that it's time to focus inward, work on your skills, discover your talents, and use your imagination. Unleash your inner artist. Doing so will boost your self-esteem and sense of competence. It does wonders for your sense of purpose and contributes to your community. All right, so that piece about it's time to focus inward is exactly what I was saying about the High Priestess and the Hangman, that they're both such like an inward focused energy to me. I love this creativity and saying that it gives you a sense of purpose and contributes to your community. I feel like that's like the example that I gave with the 10 of Cups, sort of redirecting his emotional energy was going into money, right? But then he realized, oh my goodness, I can help someone with that money, right? And how good that feels to be able to give to others and change someone's life for the better, right? And connect with his community. I feel like that's really cool. It says support. I feel like it's supporting others. And not like to give your good away or something like that, but in the ways that you feel called to, right? In the ways that resonate for you. And then we have 1551, hold your vision. manifestation, abundance, money, dreams, vision, and prosperity. Focus on the good and maintain your concentration on the outcomes you desire. It is time to put your faith and time into your ideas and pursue your goals with all your might. You have such a beautiful, courageous, and brave spirit. Yeah, I love that. I feel that. That Page of Wands, that Eight of Wands, the Ace of Wands here. The Queen of Wands is very courageous. It's such a cool energy. And it's saying focus on the good and maintain your concentration. I feel like that's like that energy that I kept going like this and saying it feels so focused. It feels so focused. Again, I feel it's calling you to release this energy of apathy, of waiting, of defensiveness. And it's like a wake-up call that now is the time. Like, this is it. It's go time, right? And the universe like snaps his fingers and you're just like, take off. And being willing to say, okay, past, see you later. I'm not going to hang on to how things used to be. I'm going to freely move like a free open field. You're going to freely move into this open space of the future and kind of let the universe shoot you out like a rocket. It's so cool. This is a neat reading. I hope that this was helpful. Please, I'm enjoying this energy. Sorry, I'm very distracted. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. If you wish, as all of those things help me as I'm growing my channel. If you are in this collective, happy healing. This is really transformative if you choose to work, kind of co-create and partner with the universe in this energy. It's really transformative. So that's all for now. I hope, I feel like I might have one more thing to say and I can't figure out what it is. Maybe that's part of what this is. It's like you're almost left like speechless of when you kind of are in this momentum. So maybe that's a quick heads up for you that like, if you're feeling that like, wait, what? Like what? What's going on right now? That's okay. It's just part of this energy and it's safe to flow with it. Yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next reading. Bye.